Hey folks, welcome back to George Does Stuff. I'm George. I do stuff, mostly knife reviews. I might sneak a fishing video in there every now and then. I actually have some fishing footage that I may squirt into my channel at some point. I don't know where. Hey all, your old buddy George here. It occurred to me after I already uploaded this video that this knife was pronounced Sitivien. So please forgive me. There's going to be, a 15, however long, 20-minute video of me saying Sitivien over and over again. It's not a Sitivien, it's a Sitivien. My apologies to the manufacturer and to you guys, so please don't correct me. I know I screwed it up. I have the worst knife channel on YouTube. That's why. Enjoy. Thanks, guys. Today, I am going to talk about a knife that I have actually had for quite some time. This is one of the, a budget banger, if you will. It's funny, I took this to my family dinner the other night, and my niece saw this knife, and she's like, hey, that knife's kind of cool. So I might actually end up getting her one of these. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the Sitivien ST128. Like I said, I've had this knife for quite some time. When I first got this knife, I tried sharpening it, and I had a bear of a time. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I have since been able to put a pretty decent edge. Excuse me. I've been able to put a pretty decent edge on this knife. What really attracted me to this knife originally was actually what my niece really liked, and that's that this raw G10. I think that's really cool. And for a lot of DIY people, if you don't know, you can buy dye, and you can dye this whatever color you want, which is it's pretty cool. So if you want to make this into a blue handle or a red handle or yellow or whatever, this raw G10 takes dye very well. Maybe I'll put a link in there. I may forget, but the name of the dye, it's a very popular dye. I just can't think of the name offhand. But this knife, it is a liner lock. It is just a very traditional kind of drop point. See how I did that there? Look at that, drop point blade. It is a full flat grind, which is great. Full flat grinds make for very, very slicey knives. Blade stock is not too thick. It does have some jimping, which actually is pretty grippy here up the top, and has a little bit along the spine, this is not really. This is more for massaging than it is for stopping your finger, because there's nothing to that at all. Again, if you know my channel, you know one of my favorite budget steels, if not my favorite budget steel, D2. Let's take a look at that guy. Look at that D2. It looks like it's kind of almost a stonewash blade. Has a pretty nice finish to it. Very little, if any, sharpening choil here. Done some deployment. There's no other form of deployment really. Non-reversible clip. This is it is a tip-up carry, which is kind of nice. I know a lot of people prefer tip-up. To me, it doesn't really matter. You have a very a very large and available lanyard hole. And hey, man, if you're into lanyards, I saw somebody knocking people for carrying lanyards. I was like, really? That's the thing we're going to go after people now for, is putting a lanyard on your pocket knife? That seems a little odd. I don't run lanyards personally, but hey, man, I think they look cool. I got no problem with it. And if it takes it, you want to take your clip off, then more power to you. And good clip. This clip is actually a little bit tighter than what I like, but it'll probably break in a little bit. And the good news is the G10 is not super aggressive, so this will not take out your jeans. You can carry this for a good long time, and you will be absolutely fine. Is actually a little bit of a larger knife. I will put the dimensions up here. That's my cue. And And I will also put the price up there. I'm actually going to pause for a second. Don't tell anybody. It's going to look very seamless. I'm going to look and see what this thing's actually selling for currently. And $25. So this is currently, as of August 7th, $24.99 on Amazon. And this is actually available in a wide variety of colors. You have army green, black, blue, desert, just a regular, I guess, Kermit the Frog green, and red. And that's not including the raw. So Sitivien actually makes a wide variety of knives. There was another knife that they make. I can't remember what it is, but it's really nice. So I believe Sitivien might have one or two knockoffs. I can't remember exactly who they knock off, if it was Strider or somebody. But I believe they have some knife that looks like a knockoff. But as far as I know, this isn't based on any other knife. And I find this to be a very attractive knife. This knife is a little bit bigger than what I like to carry, not substantially so, but it just is. It's just a little bit bigger. It's a heavy knife. It has stainless steel liners, which I believe there is. Yeah, there's a little bit of skeletonization on those to kind of lighten things up a little bit. Very rock solid. There is some blade play side to side. There is no blade play up and down at all. The action on this is really nice. It's what you expect for a $25 knife. It's not buttery smooth, but it is definitely not grindy or anything like that. Actually, it's a lot smoother than I thought. But I mean, it doesn't just fall into place. It is not a it's not like a Militaw where this is kind of my standard. That I mean, Militaw it's a freaking guillotine. If you're not careful with the Militaw, you will chop your finger pretty good. So I mean, these knives are super smooth. This is not like that, but this is absolutely fine for $25. It's right on. Let's do a quick size comparo. So here's our Sitivien, the ST128. Yes, the ST128. Here is the feared and revered Ozark Trail. Here is Old Faithful. You can kind of start to see where I'm coming from this being kind of a little bit of a larger knife. Not huge, but it's it's bigger than the paramilitary 2. It's bigger, substantially bigger than the Ozark Trail. The recently tested Steinbrucher. So you can see it's a little bit bigger than that. What else we got here? I guess we can bring the Militaw back out. There it is in comparison to the Militaw. The full-size Militaw, I'm always kind of surprised at how big it is. It's much bigger than I remember, but God, these knives, I really do enjoy that quite a bit. Here is a knife that I have a absolute love-hate relationship with, and that is the Microtech SOCOM Bravo Mini. Possibly the best-looking knife I own. Possibly one of the most frustrating, well, absolutely the most frustrating knife I own. So there you go. You get a decent idea. I guess I could throw one or two in here. I think with the paramilitary 2 and the Militaw, you kind of get an idea of what it is size-wise. But I'll throw a couple more in just to keep everybody happy. Here is a Spyderco Native. That one happens to be in Magna Cut. And one of my knives that I should carry, but I don't, the Deca Hogue. Which, by the way, they were running a killer deal on this knife recently on Blade HQ for $114, which is an absolute steal. Fantastic knife, way underrated, heat-treated Magna Cut. These knives are really, really good, especially for that price. They're very much worth it. So, all right, there you go. You have an idea of the cost. You have an idea of the build. Hopefully I put the dimensions in. If not, I'll put them back in. I'm pretty sure I've got them in there. Thanks to the magic of editing. And so that leaves us with one last thing to do, and that is the cut test. Now, I will say that this knife did not come particularly sharp. I did put an edge on this knife. I don't remember how I did it because I'm old and I forget things easily. I may have hand sharpened this, but I'm not sure. I think, actually, now I think about it, I think that's how I did it. But it, as expected with D2, it took the edge just fine. I love D2. One of the things I love about D2 is sharpening it. It is a very easy steel. If it's properly heat treated, it is a very, very easy steel to get a very, very sharp edge on. And this knife is really, really sharp. And for $25, that's what you want. You know, that's what you want. You want a knife that's sharp, that it's, you know, it deploys when you want it to deploy. I can tell you, and we'll have a conversation about this sometime. I think it's a good looking knife, and I think that's the first thing that matters. I think most people, if they have a knife that's good looking enough, that's flawed, people will still like it, even if it's completely a monster. This knife is not a monster. This knife is it's a great value. If it's within your budget to spend $25 on a good size D2 steel knife, you won't go wrong with this. This is a really, really, you know. So if you bought, let's say you bought the Ozark Trail in D2, this would be a nice progression up. So this is obviously 2.5 times more than that. This is retails for $10 at Walmart, for 2.5 more times, $25. I think this would be a good step up. This is a really good way to go if you're looking to increase your knife collection. And anybody who laughs at you for having these two knives in your knife collection doesn't know anything about knives, because this knife is wildly popular. I don't like it, even though I'm about to do a third review on it. But everybody else likes it, and I can see why. It just doesn't do it for me. But again, I think this would be a step in the right direction if you want to move away from that and move up to something a little bit more, I don't know, robust or traditional or sharpenable, because that Ozark Trail I can't sharpen, but this knife, obviously I was able to get it sharp. So once again, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. If I didn't do that, I want to say thank you to the people that took the time out to watch my video. I love you all. I appreciate the views. I appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. I will try to answer them. I don't have a lot going on right now, so if you want to send me a comment, I do my best to get back to you. The Sitivien ST128, highly recommended. Go get yourself one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.